What's up, bitches? Welcome back to another episode of Positively Uncensored, your favorite reality TV and interview podcast. It's your host, Leah. If you've been watching Love Island US season 6 this season, I know you're searching for content the same way I am. So tonight, let's say you're seeing this on Wednesday where we don't have an episode. Here's my gift to you. I am chatting with Catherine from Love Island US, the Casa experience. We're going to get into everything. Kenny, her friendship with JaNa, what was going on in the house, her predictions, all of the above. What's up, Love Island US fans? Today, I'm chatting with Catherine, who we got to see just a very short glimpse of during Casa Amor, but I'm so excited to hear more about your journey, about your experience, all the tea. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so before we dive into all things Love Island, I want to get to know you a little bit. So first of all, where are you?
I'm in Scottsdale right now, Arizona.
I do remember you saying that. Okay, so
Yes,
I've been to Scottsdale one time for a bachelorette party. That's like my
of
extent of
course.
my experience, of course, right? Um, are you there for school?
No, I'm not. I don't go to school.
Okay, got it. So my next thing that I wanted to know is, are you a reality TV fan?
Um, Not really, just with Love Island actually. Like I've watched Love Island UK, I've watched the Aussie, and then I watched some of the US. So I've seen most of it. And so this is like my favorite time to like watch. And so it's just like being on was such a great experience. And like maybe keeping up with the Kardashians here and there.
Okay, this is shocking. You're actually the first person I've talked to from Love Island that I've done interviews with that's not only like into reality TV, but has also seen the show. So I'm dying to know how what you thought about the show versus when you got there. Was it how you expected it, or did you feel like, oh, okay, a lot is going on that we don't see?
It was a little bit of both. I feel like it's like you experience and then you understand, and it's like it is you, and those conversations are yourself, and like you are just being genuine because like you just forget the cameras are there, but there is a lot of like well behind the scenes as well. So it's just yeah, it's like such a great experience, and it's just so fun to do it. But it was a
Before we
mix.
before we transition, are you team Courtney or team Kim in terms of the sisterhood?
Ah, oh, this is really controversial, but I love. Wait, who did you say?
Courtney or Kim?
Courtney or Kim?
Because they've been
Oh, I'm a
beefing.
Courtney. I'm Courtney. I'm sorry, but
So am
yes,
I.
I'm a Courtney. Yes, because I feel like not a lot of people say that, but I love Courtney. I feel like she's like one of the realest. I feel like she's so in her like element of just like like non-real reality of like the reality show, if that makes sense.
100%. I am so happy you said Courtney when you said like this may be a hot take. I thought you were about to say Kim, just because in my friend group that would be kind of like the hot take.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm in love with that answer.
Oh my gosh, okay, I love that. I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm like, oh no, I would have liked that to be like,
No,
no,
but I would have been with it either way because I respect Kim's hustle and I respect the fact
absolutely.
that she does what she does and she's great at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree with that for sure.
So prior to Love Island and like being there, what is your type? What's the type of guy that you would typically date?
I usually go for the white boys. That's usually my type. I like you to be a little fit. That never hurts. Like driven, passionate, outgoing, someone who makes me laugh. Tall.
Are you
All those
riding
words
the
that seem
Connor
cliche.
train then? Because I feel like
Oh,
everybody's talking about Connor.
no,
Thank God.
no.
Okay.
He kind of gave me the like a little bit of the ick, like during the whole Miguel and Leo situation. It was like he just handled it very. I was like, oh no, but that was just my opinion.
And the whole and like how he treated Janae, I'm hearing everybody like say his name as like most eligible bachelor, like who they're most excited to talk to after the show. And I'm like, I completely
Really?
am shocked by this. Yeah, like Cassidy said it,
Wow.
Liv said it, multiple people have said it.
Interesting. That's really wild. I haven't heard that. So I'm like, maybe Connor has something to say.
So was Aaron your type or is he not fit enough?
No, Aaron's not my type. Honestly, like I've watched a couple of the episodes prior to going into Casa, and I will say, like a lot of them were not my initial type. Honestly, my number one person I thought I was gonna go for was actually Rob, ironically. Um, but yeah, that like none of them actually kind of were my type until I talked to Kenny and then we like actually like I was like, okay, like he actually has like similar goals and values to like how I am, and I'm like maybe this is like actually worth pursuing, and so it just kind of went from there. But
Okay, you hit on a couple of things that I'm interested in. First of all, I've heard this from because I talked to Iggy and Jacoby, and so they mentioned that you kind of like get caught up to speed. But what did that look like? Are you like every night when you're there watching the episodes like us at home, or are you just seeing clips to kind of figure out who you're most interested in, if you can say?
no, you were watching the whole episode, so you really got to see everything like as you guys did. So that was also why it was kind of hard coming in because you have people that you were watching that you were also rooting for. So like coming in and then being with their man obviously did not feel good at all.
So who were you rooting for? Let's hit that really quick.
Well, I was really honestly, it's so controversial, but I was really rooting for like JaNa because I like was watching her. I was watching everything she was going through. She was so beautiful. She's so fire. Like the way she is exactly how like you would just meet her. So it's like I was like, oh my gosh, why isn't she meeting anyone? But it was like I feel like I didn't like realize how like close her and Kenny had gotten in those 4 days. And so then like on movie night when I saw the clips of them like hanging out and like being all cozy and like I was like, oh wow, like they were. It kind of just kind of slipped my mind when I was watching, and so it was just like it was just really interesting with
That is
that.
interesting, but I'm also glad to hear that because seeing how you are such like a Janae supporter is so like gracious, and I think that that's such a like I think that's as a testament to your character and how you don't like try to compete with other women and like tear them down. I think that you're such a great like lighthearted person because of that.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely try to like make it more like pinning against each other when there was like me and Janae had so many conversations, so like no one got to see, and we had so many like kiki moments. We were just laughing together, and it was just like none of that was like actually portrayed in conversations about Kenny that we had, and yeah, there was moments that just like weren't really shown, and so that was just unfortunate, but.
Okay, well, I want to talk a little bit about the conversations you were having with Kenny, but first you mentioned that you were initially interested in Rob. So, like, what happened?
We did have like one or two chats like in Casa, and we had a lot during the challenge game. But like he was just exploring so many other things, and then he went after another girl in Casa, and then he had the whole situation with Daniela right at the end. So I don't think I was interested in like those chats were just kind of like boring to me. So it was hard to like break his like his dry humor.
I don't know if I'm misremembering, but who was he talking to in Casa besides Daniela?
He was talking to Destiny, and then I'm pretty sure he was talking to Sydney as well, and then it was Daniela.
Not him actually having a lot of connections, and we feel like he pretty much, got with Daniela at the very end. That's really interesting to hear. Okay. So from the clips, you were initially interested in Rob, then you get there and he like kind of has a lot going on. What was your conversations with Kenny like? And did any other guys try to pull you for chats?
No, I don't think any other guys like pulled me for chats. I feel like everyone was kind of established a little bit. Like you kind of knew who you were like everyone kind of had their own like man that they were going for in like the villas or in Casa. So no, I wasn't really pursued by anybody else, but my my chats with Kenny were very like intimate and like they were very deep and we had a lot of conversations where I cried too and they didn't just show a lot of like the personal stuff. And maybe it's just because I wasn't giving them enough drama.
Okay, so you guys, so that's what I was curious about because I heard Sydney go on Nick Vile's podcast and she alluded to being in a love triangle and that you guys were having similar chats, but the references she gave was like he asked what her goals were and then he asked like what your goals were, which sounded very surface level. Do you agree with her that it was that you felt like it was the same or is it just kind of normal? What was your take?
Maybe my experience from her like could have been different. I felt like after hearing that, it's like, okay, maybe he was asking us the same questions. And I don't know for a fact. I feel like I don't know if how she could have heard that, but
Exactly.
if like, but if that was the case, then I would have loved to know prior. But he did ask me about my goals and like my life and my family, and I think it was a matter of like family stuff. I don't know. I'm like, well, maybe not like having like a wife and like being ready for that. And like I feel like I was very much like giving like I'm, looking for like a man and stuff. So I'm not
Just
really
my
sure.
opinion, I feel like just to tell you, I read it as it didn't really make sense how she had this impression of Kenny because like you said, or you can't be really two places at once. So it's like how would she know the context of your conversation? And it felt like a reach to me. So I'm like it's interesting to hear your perspective because not that that like backs what I was thinking, but it sort of seemed like how would she know? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how Sydney would know that.
Yeah, it's also interesting because she was like saying that she thought she was genuinely gonna get picked during that recoupling. Like you guys obviously didn't see, but there was like actually like a little speech at Casa prior to coming into the villa that it was just private. And based on like the things that he was saying, she thought that she was really gonna get picked. And it's crazy because I felt the same way. So I'm like, maybe he was just saying a lot of the same thing to us and we just didn't know. So
Can you tell me like what is that speech since we didn't see it? Like what was like the gist of like what was said?
I was like, oh my God, it was a while ago, but he was like,
Okay.
basically, I'm
Yeah, like
choosing
too
this
long
girl.
didn't read version.
He's like, basically, I'm choosing this girl because she's like very like goal oriented. Like she was very like motivated and driven. And like is like someone like that can push me or something like that. Just like that, something along the lines of that. And so I really thought, okay, that was gonna be me based on the conversations. And then she said the same thing. And when I heard her say that, I was like, interesting. So
And it could be as simple as like when you get to know someone, are we really that different when we date people? Like there's pretty much the same things I want to know no matter who I'm talking to. Like what do you do? What is your political
yeah,
stance? What are your
right.
goals? Like what are your goals?
Exactly. There's like those like first time date, like meeting someone, dating questions. It's like you have to go through those.
Um, so to the Casa guys, when I talked to them, they felt like there was a really cold reception the first couple days from the women, like the OG girls. Did you ladies feel that way from the OG guys, or was it like, hey, like glad you're here?
It was a little bit of like, it was like they were happy. It was like I mean, who wouldn't want to see a bunch of beautiful women coming into town?
Vacation. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, but a couple of them definitely were missing their girls for sure. So it was nice to see like the Kendall was really like missing Nicole and stuff.
So you think that like as far as Kendall and Nicole's relationship, like unpopular opinion in the Love Island community, you think it's very genuine?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
Okay.
everybody has like their own experience, there, and like I don't know if that's how they're feeling. And she was very happy coming back from the hideaway, so I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I'm
So
surprised. Maybe I'm seeing something you guys are. I haven't like continued to watch too much, so maybe that's my problem.
and maybe the reality is like you actually know these people or at least have a little bit of knowledge of them versus we have no experience other than an hour each night for the last 3 weeks. And so we're just like online with our, Twitter fingers like, fuck this person. You know?
Yeah, just a
Yeah,
little bit. Yeah, exactly.
exactly. Like it's both. So second, like random, was Kane your type?
Um, a little bit. I mean, he was like I said, he was easy on the eyes, but no, I think that I would probably no. He
Okay.
was cute, and I maybe if I got to know him a little bit, but he just seemed like I don't know.
Can I tell you how much chaos the three of you caused on social media with your lives in the airport? And you can all hear you guys talk. Like, I am dead. Like, it cracked me up. I'm like, wait, who do I look at first? Like, there's so much going on. Like, I don't know who's to be on. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
Kind of
that was
iconic.
very that was very crazy. It was very overwhelming on social media. It still is. I mean, it's the Love Island world community is insane this year. So this season has definitely made a ruckus for sure.
Definitely a ruckus. This is like one of the most popular seasons they've said too of US. It's hands down the best.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vanity posted that like we got like 9.91 like million like streams or something, which is really freaking insane. I'm like, what? So that's so crazy.
I'm so happy to hear that. And like you can include yourself in that. Your facial expressions cracked me up. As someone with anxiety, I felt like it was kind of shocking. We started this episode with you saying that you were like had like such a great experience because just looking at your face sometimes you would think like, can we just go hug Catherine? Can we like give Catherine some water? Like this feels like a lot.
I will say, I think I there was a lot of times I actually cried during like my confession and stuff, where I'm sure they didn't show that either, where I was just really mad at myself because I feel like I wasn't myself. I feel like I like you can see that I was only finally starting to open up like right as I was leaving and just like right like after moving, I finally started like, like breaking that shell down and I was really upset. And even the lives that people like this is the most she's been talking. And I'm like, I mean, like there was a lot of talking done. I think it was boring and I was like just like not expressing myself like how I normally am. I'm normally the loud, obnoxious, like funny friend. And I just felt like I like didn't do that. And yeah, I was like really upset at myself about it. I like cried for sure. Um,
Well, you
so
still come
yeah.
across really warm. And like now you have this space, like in your interviews, where we get to see your personality shine. And don't be hard on yourself because talking to your live stream with no one can like talk back to you and people are just commenting is so much different than having like production and cameras. It's such a different feeling.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay, so I want to hit on this. When you guys are in Casa and all you girls are there, were you guys having conversations since you watched everything about what you thought the girls were doing? Like, were you like, oh, they're having they're gallivanting as well?
Um, Kinda and kinda not. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I was living in my own world at Casa, so I will say I was just like focusing on like what, everyone was doing there. But I feel like during the challenges when we did win, I felt like maybe that said a lot about like what was going down, like on down there, because I was like we were very motivated. But then we got back from, or some of us got back from, Casa, and when we were doing the recoupling and I sat down, I felt like they didn't do the girls justice, to say the least. I don't want to be rude or anything, but I feel like the Casa boys were nothing like the OG boys. So I could understand why, right?
Thanks.
Was
Yeah.
that just
I was waiting to see where you were going with that for a second before I responded. Yeah. Like, I mean, like
yeah,
in general, I completely agree. Hmm.
they were not honestly it. And I felt bad. And I felt like if they had like real like I don't know, better men coming in, then their experience might have been different. The girls who didn't couple up might have been coupled up. And I felt like we were a bunch of like bad bitches coming into Casa. And so we did our thing and yeah.
Yeah, like you did your job. It's not really your fault that the other bombshells didn't bomb that hard. You know what I mean? Like you ladies did do the job. Like that there's one
Right.
job to do and you did it. Um,
Exactly.
so when you go back to the villa, there was a comment made initially where it was like, sort of implying that like the OG girls were mean. And it's not necessarily that you said it, but I want to know like what was happening behind the scenes that made it feel that way initially.
Yeah, so there was, yeah, a lot of like, I think when I was standing up there and I was making a lot of faces, a lot of people were like, oh my God, she's terrified, this and that. I wasn't scared. It was just like there was other side comments going on that were so like, there was just a lot going on top of JaNa being like, Kenny, like, what's up? And all this, like during the recoupling. So I was like, just like yeah, my face was like ah, and yeah, I've been great getting girls about that recoupling outfit and hair. So noted, never doing that again.
Fuck those people. That's rude.
No, it's actually funny. I honestly love a good troll moment. I'm trying to make the best of it, but it's I'm trying to enjoy it a little bit. I'm like, I mean, it's all
As you
good.
should. Yeah, laugh if you can. You know what I mean? Laugh it if you can.
There was just little comments, even like there was like when we first had gone there, we were all going to the bathroom and there's like private bathrooms that like you don't like there's no cameras there and you just go in one by one and Kayla like walked by and she like smiled and there was another like OG girl right behind her and then they like went into like the other main bathroom and she was like why did you do that or something like or why did you smile at them and then she was like what was I supposed to do so I'm like there was just a lot of like little like side comments and jabs and things that just were like just like not necessary. But as the days went on and you got to know the girls, like we honestly became really close and we had so much fun on off days and just really enjoyed each other's company and we were all just different characters and it was like really a great time. I wish they would have shown us like when we were like all just like having dance parties and stuff because it was just such a good moment.
And you know what? The show is meant to be set up in a way that's like very polarizing. It's essentially like
Absolutely.
they got sent that text. It's horrifying. You have your guy who you're loyal to. It's essentially like a guy bringing back like if you're married, like a guy bringing back his mistress and being like, and
Yeah.
now you two should be friends, right? And you're
Right.
not.
Literally.
So I get why it's like so much tension, and I can honestly say that I would honestly probably fall into the same way that some they were initially reacting just because I'm such a reactive person, but it gives me peace to know that all of you guys like came together and it's more like, okay, we're fine. Every couple just had like their own things to work on, and yeah.
Right. It was just the heat of the moment, and I totally like their feelings are so valid. I understand. I guess like we were maybe a little naive to think it was gonna be rainbows and like unicorns on the other
Right.
side.
Yes.
And it definitely wasn't, and they were definitely applying pressure. So I think that that's like what kind of took us by surprise a little bit. But I mean, we both had words to say and we exchanged them, and that was that, and we moved forward, and that's just kind of how it is.
So when you guys first get there, how big of a change was it from how the personalities of the guys were in Casa to like now in the villa?
That during that once we were back from the recoupling, like the first day or two, I think they were definitely shaking in their boots for sure. They were like, there is so much going on, and it was like that time to like really like start having those conversations and like sort shit out. Um, but yeah, they weren't too different though in personalities. They were still, people were still bringing people breakfast and just trying to like reconcile and stuff and um see where everyone's head was at after all that.
Shenanigans, all the
Yeah, after
shenanigans.
the whole
Yeah.
Casa, yeah, situation.
Do you know if I'm going to ask like a few questions, like sort of rapidly, just since we're almost wrapping up. But do you know, or do you mind telling me if there was any conversation amongst the girls where you guys were sort of speculating amongst each other, like, is Rob bringing back Daniela for Aaron? Did anybody feel that way?
I personally didn't, but I've been seeing a lot of comments now that I have my phone and been back in the social media world. That that's kind of what was happening, that he was bringing her back, or yeah, for Aaron. And I was like, what you think? But no, I personally don't think so. She was so into Rob, and there was a lot of moments that you didn't see, like in Casa, where she was like, she really wanted to explore that, but she just felt like she couldn't. And so, yeah, like I felt like it was genuine between her and Rob, and like even Rob said he wouldn't have brought her back if he didn't like, think something was there.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. I appreciate hearing like an inside scoop on that. Um, as far as movie night goes, I feel like we didn't see everything. I don't know if you ever got to watch it, but can you say if there was any clips like that were shown? Like I think Clueless was one and like Fatal Attraction. Like was there anything else that happened that was shown?
Yeah, we actually got to see like most of them the first round. I think we saw all of them the first round, and then the second round, I think there was a couple that we also didn't see as well. But honestly, I don't remember. It was like a lot of everyone else's stuff. So I just was like enjoying it. Honestly, I was like eating the popcorn and watching the movie, you
I
know?
saw.
But
I'm like, this is your guys' gift for being brought in here and feeling like, ugh, this is awkward.
yeah, no, for sure. But no, I haven't watched it, but I'm intrigued now. I feel like I keep hearing a lot about it, so I'm like maybe I will watch it, but.
Who had the biggest argument because of their clip?
Probably Kayla and Aaron.
Okay. So nothing topped
Or
it.
well, there's a couple. I just think there would be three, or Leah and Liv, and then Rob and Leah, like on the couch.
Okay.
And
Actually, Janae didn't have any clips. I was like, woo!
we actually did have a Casa clip of me and Kenny, but they didn't show that on there. And it was when me and Kenny had kissed in Casa, and the connection, and him talking to another Casa girl, and then him talking to me, I think. But yeah, but she wasn't upset about it because like we had already told her everything. Me and Kenny had spoken with her, and everything was like the air was clear,
Clear.
not me stuttering. Yes. You know what I'm trying to say.
I did.
Anyways, we had cleared the air between each other. And so like and being honest and truthful is so important when you're in Love Island. And like that's the number one thing. I think like being honest about anything that's happened because it can always come to like bite you in the ass. So yeah, I think it was all fun.
That's such tea. I'm so glad that I get to know that. I'm so glad to know that you guys had a conversation, all three together too. I find that very mature.
Well,
Let's
it wasn't us three together. I think me and Janae had separate we had a lot of separate conversations relating to Kenny and how our best interest was just him like figuring out what's best for him, whether it was her or me, like it wouldn't have mattered. We just wanted him to like, do what's best for him. And yeah, they didn't show that. And I had a lot of conversations with Kenny as well. And I'm just excited for them. Honestly, I'm rooting for them. I see the little TikTok edits where he's like, I want you, I need to. Like, I don't, whatever this thing is, it's so cute.
I
So,
want to know,
yeah.
do you want them to win?
I honestly want Kendall and Nicole to win, but I can see Janae and Kenny winning or Serena and Kendall, Cordell as well.
You're the first person I've talked to that said Nicole and Kendall. So, but I think, but so like, I'm shocked to hear this, but also you found Kendall very genuine and constantly missing Nicole. So your perspective sort of makes sense.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people are saying like they don't really like fuck with his like commentary and stuff, and I feel like he's
Mm-hmm.
like an instigator. Maybe he's just like
Mm-hmm.
doing too much. So,
All of that.
yeah, I don't know. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, I definitely feel that way about Kendall myself. I hope Serena and Cordell or Janae and Kenny win personally. Do
I
you
love
have
that.
do you have a prediction for who you like that's who you want to win is Nicole and Kendall? Who do you think the public will vote to win?
Um, Serena and Cordell, hopefully. Yeah.
Screaming, screaming. Let me end with this. Are you going to talk to any of the Love Island guys? Have any guys reached out to you or do you have interest?
No, not so far.
Tell everybody, tell all of us who want to support you though, where can we follow you? Where can we find your social media?
Yes, so my Instagram and my TikTok are both Catherine.Marshall with three L's for Marshall. And then my Snapchat is just Marshall.cat. I don't know. But
Perfect.
yeah, if you want to follow it else, I have a link tree. So if you want to just click that and you can literally find me through that.
Perfect. I'm going to link your socials as well. Everything except Snapchat, I'll try to link. That one's like
Perfect.
kind of hard. But lastly, is there anything that you want to say? Like, is there anything you want to end with that you want people to know while you have a chance?
Um, Honestly, I had a great experience. I feel like I wish I would have opened up a little bit more and you guys would have been like able, like, the viewers would have been able to just see that fun, goofy side of me and like see more of the conversations that I had. I feel like that would have definitely made a difference, but I had so much fun and everyone was so lovely and that was like such a great experience. So I just want to thank everyone who did watch, and is continuing to watch and make sure you guys vote.
Love. That was such a cute ending. Well, thank you so much for your time. You are stunning. You're so sweet. I hope you have a great
Yeah.
day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye.